The New York Islanders break a horrendous losing streak with a well-earned victory today, 3-1, and it was almost a surprise because we've been playing so bad as of late. However, I figured with Minnesota fighting for their playoff lives, well, I think they'll probably still make the playoffs, but today did not help Minnesota at all, and I'm okay with that because basically I'm kind of a good old Calgary boy. I Calgary is still home to me. I've lived in 29 places, but I did my I played my high school football and everything in Calgary and played my junior hockey in Calgary as well and that. So Calgary has a very strong part in my heart. So anything we could do to help them out in making the playoffs, which is possible now. And it was a historic night as well with OV tying Wayne Gretzky's record tonight. And now he's going to have a chance to break the record at UBS on Long Island. So I guess if you're a season ticket holder, you kind of gotta. Well, I mean, what would you do? And you know what? I would like an answer to this in the in the comments below. So, if you were a season ticket holder, what would you do? Would you, if let's just say that you could scalp your ticket for half of what it cost you for the season tickets to purchase for the entire year, for the entire year. So you could actually have half of that paid for if you sold this ticket to a Capitals fan, or are you a true 100% staunch traditionalist who would die to probably see a once in a lifetime record being set, and such a big record, probably the biggest record in all of hockey is goals. I mean, points is second. The only reason points seems so much bigger is because I people said the goal scoring record wouldn't be broke. I never said that, but the points record, I don't know if that'll ever be broke. I mean, that would have to be some phenomenon to just come in and take over and score like 4 or 5 points a night for his career. And I don't know. I just don't know if that'll happen. So anyway, it was definitely interesting night, but let's get back to the game. So basically, the Islanders didn't really hurt themselves, depending on what you're worried about. If you're worried about draft position or whatnot, technically, as we know, they're still not eliminated from the playoffs. But if you're a realist, you know that they're more than likely not going to make the playoffs. So we're 5 points out. We didn't really get hurt tonight because Detroit won as well. So we stayed behind Detroit. And realistically, the teams that are below us, and none of them are catching us. So we're not falling behind any of them. So it's basically just if you're hoping for draft pick, you just want to stay status quo and not pass anybody. If you're looking for the playoffs, it's like, all right, let's go. Let's do like we did last year and the season on a huge winning streak and make the playoffs, which is absolutely possible in this crazy Eastern Conference. That's for sure. All right, so yeah, so we're still a point behind the Red Wings and Columbus. Columbus now has a game in hand on us. We're 2 points behind or 3 points behind the Rangers and 5 points behind the Canadians. So playoffs ain't coming our way, but there it is for you. So let's get into the game, shall we? All right. Here we go. All right. So in the uh, first period, of course, is once again a nothing draw, which is like, man, like how many is that this year? I believe it's 19. I could be wrong. Could be 20, could be 18. Pretty sure it's 19. Now, you take into effect that in 76 games, we've only scored 27 times the first goal of the game. So now you take 19 of those games and have them scoreless in the first period. So that means the majority of the first goals of the game for in Islander games are being scored in the first period, which when you're getting scored on later in the game, it's so much more pressure and it's so much more depressing as a fan to watch to be behind late later in the game in that, and then always chasing from behind, chasing from behind, chasing from behind. 19 games with nothing score, and 27 out of 76 times we've scored the first goal, which is just it shows you just how much frustration this season has been for Islander fans to watch. It's been nothing but watching from behind, and really the only good times we ever had is watching our guys who couldn't finish put the pressure on but not score, and until eventually our opposition scored a goal against us, and then it was time to get a little bit depressed. And I'll tell you right now, I think that Ilya Sorokin is the king of the weird goal that happens against him. Like it's not his fault. I've never seen so many very odd and strange goals going against Ilya Sorokin. And Matt Zuccarello with his 18th of the year, he wing and a prayer and off a mask and off a crossbar and behind unbelievable lucky goal. So Zuccarello with his 18th from Marcus Johansson, and I'm shaking my head at Ilya. And you know what? The funny part about it is he's had a lot of one goal games where. The only goal that was scored against him was a fluky goal like this. So he probably could have about three more shutouts this year if it wasn't for all the weird goals against and all the Islander defensemen constantly scoring against Ilya. But man, I feel sorry for Ilya, but he put in a stellar game from that point on. I actually put in a stellar game from right from the start. But let's be honest about this game. Really, the first period was a little bit even, maybe in the Islanders' favor, but from the second period on, the Islanders pretty much dominated this entire game. Like the play was pretty much always down to Minnesota's end. So it was so nice to be able to respond so quickly, only 36 seconds after Zuccarello had scored. Casey Cizikas with a beautiful deflection. Noah Dobson getting his 28th assist of the year, and Engdahl picking up a point as well. Look what happens when you shoot the puck, Noah. People can deflect the puck and everything. It wasn't the strongest, wasn't the hardest. It was just a wrister at the net, and Casey with a beautiful deflection. So, we need to shoot more, and especially a guy like Noah needs to shoot more because, he's a talented offensive defenseman, and he's got a good shot, and he needs to use it more. And then not even much longer than that, almost 2 minutes after that, Simon Holmstrom gets his 18th of the year on a beautiful rushing setup by Siplikov, and Ryan Pollock started the playoff. But Siplikov with some nice moves, gunnered up the speed, got the puck over to Holmstrom, and Holmstrom made the power move. And finally, the hockey gods decide to even things up for the Islanders in a game, and we get a puck go in off the D-man skate. I think it was Faber. So we're 1-1 in the fluky goals, but that still doesn't help Ilya's stats at all. That's for sure. So, but at least it's nice to finally see things get evened up, and we're not hurt in the worst way. And so, what went from a scoreless game to going into the second period, early getting scored on, being depressed, and within a matter of seconds and minutes, tie the game and go ahead in the game was a world of difference for the Islander fans watching this game. It just became so much better and enjoyable to watch. And the lack of finish for the rest of the game didn't bother you because we had the lead and we were constantly putting on the pressure and not really being in any danger. And I can't really think of much that Ilya had to bail us out from throughout the entire game. So anyway, after two periods, we're up 2-1, and that was a wild second period, and it definitely went in our favor. And you had to feel good about going into the third period, yeah, even with the losing streak that the Islanders were on. What was it, 5 games, 6 games? I think it was 6 games. But on the power play, I just absolutely love the way Tony DeAngelo moves things around. I love the way he walks the line. I love how he makes and forces the other team to move their players, where like when we had Barzell and everybody on the power play, we just stayed in that pentagon and we just whip it around and nothing would ever happen. The four people they basically wouldn't have to move if they didn't want to. But Tony always forces the other team to move, and I love the way he walks the line. and he walked the line beautifully and sent it back against the grain to Noah, who finally, once again, shoots at the net and unleashes a one-timer, which he doesn't do enough on the power play because nobody respects our shot from the point. But finally, uh, Tony gets him out there, and once again, it it turns out to be I'm on a message board and I was talking to a friend there, Mark. We were talking, and I was saying how much I like two defensemen on the ice, especially if you have two offensive defensemen. I don't think that little extra you're getting from the forward helps you out that much more on the power play than having two defensemen who actually know what they're doing on the blue line, tossing the puck back and forth between each other or amongst each other. They do it best. I know as a forward who was put in on the defense, I know I didn't do that good. I know I didn't. I know a defenseman probably would have played that spot better than I did. So, but I was never going to knock the ice time that I got and or the points or the goals that I got from it. But yeah, I never felt that real good on being on the point. Once again, with the two defensemen, it pays off for the Islanders, and up we go 3-1. And that pretty much, there's not much suspense in this game from that point on. The Islanders just keep pouring it on, and the Islanders scored early in the third. Noah scored at 3:36 of the third period, and but we just kept the pressure on. No pressure against, and the Islanders win a game against Minnesota, putting a wrench into Minnesota's plans for the playoffs this year. But for the Islanders, it's looking pretty good now. So uh I mean looking good as in I mean if you're thinking draft pick, there's stayed status quo because of Detroit tonight and whatnot. Like I said, they're not going to drop any lower than that. So, and it's always nice just to see your team win. It gets so tiresome watching them have to lose all the time. That's just no fun. Just no fun at all. So, let's talk about the players. So anyway, I thought having Max up there with some quality players and in Pajot and Holmstrom made a world of difference for Max. His ice time obviously went up 15 minutes and 30 seconds of ice time tonight. Got a beautiful assist on the goal by Holmstrom. He had 5 shots on net, 1 hit too as well. I thought he was outstanding. He needs to be up in the top six, in my opinion, starting next season. That's the type of player he is. That's where he belongs. And I thought just a really good game by Max. So well done. Holmstrom also scoring that goal. Definitely. He I mean, once again, like every time he scores, I think that was his 18th goal of the year, is a career high. So every goal he scores from here on in is a career high. Did it in 16 minutes and 32 seconds of ice time. I thought he really benefited from having Max on his line tonight. I thought they worked very well together. Holmstrom had 3 shots on net, so between the two of them, they generated 8 shots together. So they clicked pretty well on the third line. I think Max is probably pretty happy to get up there. Bo Horvat, I thought had a noticeably good game. Took a bad penalty. Yeah, it wasn't much, but it was enough to be a bad thing happen. A guy who's as of myself, who has had 9 shoulder surgeries, I cringe. Like you might say, oh, it wasn't much. I mean, in this case, I'm sure it's more concussion than shoulder, but like the boards thing just gets me, and it was just a stupid play by Bo. Other than that, he had a pretty good game. He had 20 minutes of ice time tonight. He had 1 shot on net and 1 block shot. So he was all over the ice as per usual. So I thought, yeah, nice game. Gatcombe, good. We finally got the results. We're looking at the fourth line. It's been a bad couple of games in the minus column. Finally, to get zeros across the board, and they did it with a little more ice time tonight too. 9 minutes and 11 seconds for Gatcombe. He had 2 block shots and 1 hit. So kind of down in the hit department for Gatcombe, but I thought the fourth line actually looked pretty good. And the guy who was with him was Matt Martin, and he only had 7 minutes and 49 seconds of ice time, but he did have 3 hits tonight. And I also thought that he didn't really hurt the fourth line tonight. I believe we got hemmed in once, if I can remember. So, uh, yeah, one time. Other than that, I thought we were pretty competitive on the fourth line tonight. So Matt did not hurt us at all. So good game for Matt after being out for so long. Well done. And Pierre Engvall continues his good play. I mean, he gets picks up another assist tonight and gets himself a point. He's a plus one. 15 minutes and 9 seconds of ice. I mean, it's three shots on net, one hit, very noticeable out there what he's doing. Like he's controlling play down in the offensive zone and things like that. He's using his body. He's playing really well, and I'm just hoping and praying that he can bring this into next season. Because if he does, it's going to be a huge help for the Islanders. So another bang up game for Engvall now. He's definitely well into double digits of playing well now, which is really something for him. So I do believe he had one time in Toronto where he had about a 20 game stint where he was really really good and then fell off. So, it's the old boy who cried wolf kind of thing, right? You kind of I've seen it before, and then I've seen what it goes against. You just hope that this is the light bulb for the career moment for Engvall that goes off and says, "Man, this is what I can accomplish in the NHL if I try like this and play like this and do that. Good things are going to happen for me. I'm going to get more ice time. I'm going to play all the time. Not going to have to worry about anything. I'm going to get more points than I've ever gotten before." So. Just keep playing the way you're playing, Pierre. Bring that into next season. I think we got a good thing going. Hudson Bashing also gathers the plus one, but he picks up a penalty on what was one of the most lamest NHL penalties I've ever seen. Like that was just a horrible, horrible, horrible call. It didn't hurt us. The PK did its job, but uh, I mean, it was just a terrible call. Terrible call. Anyway, Hudson still walks out of the game, even with taking a bad penalty. 13 minutes and 4 seconds of ice time, plus one, which is awesome, and one shot on net. So, good game by Hudson. Terrible, terrible call against him. That was so funny. Uh, Palms. Palms had a pretty good game. He had 20 minutes of ice time and he had one shot on net, two block shots, and one hit. So uh, he had a productive kind of day, just not nothing on the board. I thought the first line was okay. That would have been Lee, Horvat, and Palmieri. Like I said, we dominated most of the play in the game tonight. So just no finish once again. And with that no finish is basically what Paul Mary's stat line is, zeros across the board. I mean, like I said, he had one shot on net, two block shots, and one hit. So same could be said for Anders Lee. Anders had three less minutes of ice time, zeros across the board. He had one block shot and two hits. I think Anders is losing a bit of steam here at the end of the season, and I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset. Anders had one hell of a good season this year. Not that Anders had a bad game tonight. It just seems to be losing a little bit of steam. It could be the situation. It could be the what I talk about, the human factor of kind of realistically knowing that you're not going to be making the playoffs, and it's hard to get up and giddy up and go every night when you know you're fighting a losing battle. And it's tough. It's tough. It's human nature. So, but like I said, with his age and whatnot, I think he's losing a little steam at the end of the season. Nothing bad, and nothing big, but a bit. Just my observation. Kyle McLean and 9 minutes of ice time, zeros across the board. That's fantastic for the fourth line. Like I said, they only got hemmed in once in the first period. Other than that, they were solid. So good job by the fourth line tonight, putting those zeros right across the board. And who's that bring us to? That brings us to Pajot, who had a pretty vanilla kind of game. I thought that Siplikov and Holmstrom were doing all the fun stuff on the line tonight, the passing and the moving and the moving and going to the net, the shots on net and whatnot. And Pajot was pretty much just out there. He did get one shot on net tonight. He had 16 minutes and 50 seconds of ice time. So uh, yeah, kind of a vanilla game. Good in the face-off dot, though. That always helps. So in that sense, it wasn't a bad game. Really wasn't a bad game by most Islanders. Like I said, we had the pressure on for most of the game. Just once again, no finish. So I did think I can definitely say Casey Cizikas had a good game. 15 minutes and 24 seconds of ice time, a couple shots on net. He was a +1 and scored a nice deflection goal tonight. He was very feisty out there, the Casey we know and love, and I thought he had an excellent game. So well done, Casey. Adam Pelech, I thought had a really good game tonight too. 19 minutes and 32 seconds of ice time, and he got zeros across the board. He got three block shots. He had one giveaway, and he did hit a crossbar tonight. And I mean, you got to feel bad for Adam. Right now, he's trailing Sorokin in the goal scoring department for this season, and that boy, Adam, you don't want to go into the summer with Ilya scoring more goals than you in the 24, 25 season. You just that's too many raspberries to take, man. That's just so much fodder, locker room fodder, man. That's just like yeah, you won't be hearing the end of that for a long, long time, or at least until you score your first goal in 25, 26. So I would highly suggest scoring a goal before this year is out, Adam. He's had some rough luck. He's had well, no luck. He's had no luck with the puck going in. He's hit a few posts. He's come close a couple times and that, but just can't seem to get one into the twine. So Tony DeAngelo, another good point producing night for him, gets another apple tonight in 21 minutes and 39 seconds of ice time. But once again, the thing I love about Tony is you're looking at 4 to 5 shots a night from Tony. Tonight we got four from him. He had four giveaways. We've talked about the giveaways before. He's a high danger kind of pass guy. You kind of expect it. Not there. There's a difference in giveaways. Like if you just take a look at a sheet and go, "Oh God, he had four giveaways. Those are terrible." But when it's a long bomb pass and it's to the other team's blue line and they intercept that pass, that's not the end of the world of a giveaway. That's a good attempt at trying to spring a guy in for a breakaway, and it didn't work, and you had a giveaway. Yeah, I mean, but only the really good players take those high danger chances, like the Barzels, the Dobsons, and the DeAngelos, and that they try the high danger, so their giveaways are up. So I'm not that concerned about his four giveaways. I mean, four is still too many, but I'm really not that concerned with him. I thought Bullock had a really good game tonight. He had an assist, 22 minutes and 11 seconds of ice time, one shot on net, three block shots, two hits, and he had one giveaway. But I thought he was super solid all night. Just controlling the play in our zone, getting the breakout really easily tonight. I thought most of the Islanders broke out of our end fairly easy tonight. I thought Noah had a hell of a game, goal and assist again, man. The point production has just been going crazy in this last 20 games of the year. He was a +1 tonight, 18 minutes and 55 seconds of ice time. He also had one hit as well. Or correction, he had what do you have here? He had one shot on net, two blocked shots, and one takeaway. So really good game by Noah. Love that it was a one-timer that he scored on. I hope he takes note and realizes that he can actually score by shooting the puck. I mean, both his points tonight are shot related. One was a deflection, the other was his own goal. So start shooting more, Noah. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Scotty Mayfield had a typical Scotty Mayfield night, 14 minutes and 51 seconds, kind of like maybe 9 seconds below average of his 15 minutes a night. But Scotty turns out to be +1. He has one hit and then zeros across the board there. So super solid Scotty night for the Islanders. Did Scotty things, cleared the front of the net. Uh, did Scotty things, bang, crashed on the boards, tied up forwards in front of the net, just did Scotty thing. So good game by Scotty tonight. Romanov, another typical Romanov game. Four shots on net, three block shots, two hits. It's always so exciting to get to read Romanov's stat line. It's almost like more like reading a baseball stat line. Like, did he get a single? Did he get a double? Did he get a triple? Did he get a, like so many things on the stat line. It seems like Romanov usually checks all the boxes, does something with everything. He put zeros across the board in the goals and assists and the points tonight, but you can always be guaranteed that other side of the stat line will be filled with four, three, two, fives. So Romanov with 23 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time tonight. Typical Romanov game. Ilya Sorokin, what can you say about Sorokin? 27 saves on 28 shots, and the only way they can score on him on his fluke whack shot that hit him on the back of the head that went off the crossbar that went behind him. Uh, Sometimes I wonder if that's the only way Sorokin can be beat. It's just like fluky goals. It seems I can't count how little of the times that you think, man, that was on Ilya. I can only think of one or probably two games all year that I can go, wow, that was a bad game, Ilya. But other than that, it's just like you almost have to be perfect to beat this guy uh, in the net. So and their teams are scoring on him by just chucking pucks to the net and getting the whacks and bangs and deflections and whatnot. It's just unlucky. Maybe next year a lot of those goals won't go in against him next year. So and then all of a sudden he's looking at a Vezina caliber season. So uh, great game by Sorokin. So great game by the Islanders. I hope the people who are cheering for draft pick aren't too disappointed. We really didn't move in the standings, so you shouldn't be too upset. It's always nice to see your team win tonight. I know it was nice for me to see. We now our next game. We can all hope to shut out Ovi. I know I don't want to see him score against the Islanders. I had Capitals game on tonight on my second TV. I actually watched his two goals tonight. So, uh, but I don't want to see his goal against the Islanders as the record breaker. I don't want to see that. So I guess now that Ovi is tied Gretzky at 894, it doesn't matter anymore that Gretzky scored his 893 against the Islanders, Wade Flaherty. So doesn't matter because once Ovechkin passes them, it won't matter. 893 will be no different from 557. So when it comes to Gretzky's records or goal scoring, because he'll be in second place, so it just won't matter. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, there you have it. The Islanders with a big 3-1 victory tonight. I hope all you guys and girls have a good night and peace out. Watch.